So as promised, here's a video to show you how to prepare your file for rendering. In this case, I have my pretend chess piece, and I have a ground plane, and all of it was my object is grouped all under a single piece. Now, my object, when I grouped it, and if I look at my selection tool, my object is grouped, and because it is all centered, it gave the pivot point to the center of the object. But what happens if my group is not centered? Let me just do that for a moment. I'm gonna delete this group. I'm gonna make this object sneak out this way. Actually, let's duplicate that one. Make that one and sneak out this way, pretending that my object does that, and then rotate this one backwards here, pretending that one will fit right there. Let's just pretend that. So if I have this object that is not fitting in my platform anymore, just trying to get it to sort of look matching. Goes like that for now, and I go and group it, except for the ground plane. I'm going to say edit group. When I group it, if I look at it from the top view, it does actually group it in the center of the world. So I was really worried about that. So it's good that it's grouped in the center of the world, and I want that to be in the center of the world. If for any reason it's not in the center of the world or in the center of your object, you want to click on the rotation tool, edit the pivot, and put it in the center of the world. Okay, just in case. Alright, so I'm going to go back to my perspective view. So I have my group there. I'm going to call it my chess piece group. So chess piece group, and I'm going to go to my animation menu set so that I can animate it. And I'm going to make it render 120 frames is more than enough for me. So I'm going to go in frame 1, change my channel box, and see all my values are 0 here in terms of rotation. So I'm going to go and say, on the object, with the group selected, I'm going to say key, set key. Then I go to my frame 120, and I rotate in Y 360 degrees, 360. And I go under my key, set key, so that, and I'm going to pull my camera back so I can see it there fully, and then I play back the object. Right now it's spinning very fast, but that's because it's spinning. This playback speed is just playing every frame to the computer, goes very fast. But I play it at real time. I'm going to just play back. So now that's a more reasonable speed. Slows down a little bit at the end, and then it starts again, which I like because it gives me the chance to see it. If I wanted to start, let's say I wanted to be let's pretend this is his face or his head, I can just simply rotate my camera around, so I can just place my camera right there. That way I start my render from that point. Okay, so I have my object ready to be animated, to be rendered, so I'm going to save my file. Now I need to create a light, so I'm going to say Arnold light, Skydome light. Remember, we're going to put a Skydome light, and I'm just going to simply just say I'm going to preview it here and render it right there with Arnold just to see it. So there it is. I see that my image is working, and I see my whole model ready to be rendered. So now I just need to create my render settings. I can call my render settings by clicking the little icon right here, or I can call my render settings under my Windows, rendering editors, render settings. And this window pops up. And here, make sure that I'm using Arnold. I'm going to give it a name. So I'm going to call it chess piece. The image I'm going to use is a TIFF. I don't need to change anything there. I'm gonna just keep that one there. I'm gonna change it from a single frame to a name number extension. Name number extension. And then I'm gonna just change my frame range from 1 to 120. I have already done it before, that's why it has it right there. I'm gonna keep my perspective camera. I don't need to do any new cameras for now. And I'm going to change my image size to HD 1080. It's the highest quality that makes it look cool. So I'm gonna say close, and I save my scene. So my render settings are all pretty much set. Now I move on to the rendering menu set, and I go on the render, and I call the render sequence, and I open up the window for that. In there, the camera is going to render its perspective. I'm going to tell it to render all enable layers. I'm going to tell it to add to render view, that way I can see it. I'm going to just pull up the render view here so I can see it rendering. If my project is set correctly, files, you go to the images folder, because I have that under my project window. Remember the project window, images are going to the images folder. So I'm saying accept that. So project's all set correctly. So I'm going to just go and simply say render sequence and close. You can save render sequence. And then Maya, start at the bottom, you see that it starts rendering frame by frame. It's doing frame 1, and it'll take maybe 120 frames, takes about a minute per frame, so maybe a couple hours of render process. And at the end of that, you will have a TIFF sequence. And the TIFF sequence we're going to use to do it. So let's just wait for it to finish, and once it's done, we will I will show you how to put together a QuickTime out of that, either with Premiere or with Media Encoder. Alright, so good luck with the rendering, and I'll see you in the movie about how to put together a QuickTime movie out of it.